on your computer, on your smartphone, on your Wi-Fi radio. We're localwebradio.fm.
Would you like to get more from the devices you own? Not quite sure where to start? There is help. Welcome to Powering Up for Non-Techies with Justin Martell, Computer Department Manager at London Drugs. Now, your host.
Yes, this is your host, Eva Marienchild, and I'm here with Justin Martell, Computer Department Manager at London Drugs. And today we're talking with Justin about how to protect your computer from viruses and worm attacks, and what to do if your computer has been infected. Hi, Justin. It's great to be talking with you today. Welcome.
Hi, Eva. Thank you. It's good to be talking to you as well.
Thank you. Okay, Justin, being on the front lines of the computer department at London Drugs the way you are, we know you're dealing with people whose computers have been infected by the latest worm or virus. Before we talk about how to avoid or even minimize these attacks, would you please share with us just what a virus is and what a worm is?
Yes, so to share a little bit of information, there's several types of viruses, and they're looking for different things. The main one you're going to see is a phishing attack, which is going to be a type of virus where they're digging for your personal information. They typically would want to commit some sort of identity theft or fraud with that sort of information. The second most prevalent that you'll find is malware, and that's the sort that you'll see all kinds of pop-ups, things coming up on your screen, things look like they're missing, or things that look like ads. A destructive virus is something that you'll often see, and that's something that's going to delete files, it's going to hurt your computer, it's going to lock things down so that you can't get to the things that you need to. We also may see behind-the-scenes viruses, which you don't quite see. Those are the sort of things where they're rooted in the computer, and they're using it to commit things on their end. Essentially, your computer's turned into a bit of a slave for them, and you can't always see that. So those are the main types out there that I'm going to describe, and we can talk a little further about them.
Terrific. Thanks so much. Now, how much damage can a worm or virus actually create?
In the worst-case scenario, a damage or virus can completely disable your computer. Unfortunately, working in the tech business, I see this more often than I'd like to. We sign in computers from customers where their user account is locked completely out, or a little pop-up will disable them from even getting to, say, their control panel or their documents. Sometimes they think they've lost everything, their pictures, their music, movies, any important documents. That sort of thing is very important to somebody, and sometimes they don't make a backup, and you've got what feels like your whole life on a particular computer. So a particularly nasty virus can really do its work and hurt you there. The other way that a virus can hurt you is with identity theft. So if you store any real personal information on that machine, like your tax documents, business documents, anything of the sort, those things are potentials for being stolen. Anything like your tax document, for example, will have your social insurance number in it. It's going to have the amount you earned, your address, all the information that a thief would need to do something that you wouldn't want them to be doing with your information. And the last one is the malicious intent behind it. So when you have a virus, you're on a network of computers that have viruses. It could be 10, it could be 20, it could be 100,000 computers with the same virus on there. The person who wrote it is at that point controlling all of the computers and can be using them for a particular purpose. So it can get pretty nasty as well.
Wow. Ouch. So how do you recognize if your computer has been infected, and does it help to know if it's a worm or a virus to differentiate?
Yeah, some of them are going to be very different from another. At the very least, you may not see anything. In the more common ones, you're going to see a pop-up or an add-on or a program that you don't remember installing yourself. The most typical that we see when machines come in are toolbars. If you were to open up your Internet Explorer or your Google Chrome and you see extra toolbars at the top with different things,
right,
typically from some sort of worm. As far as viruses go, those aren't the most dangerous ones. They're typically just some spyware or junkware. And they're really just going to serve to slow your computer down and get in your way more than anything, but they're really a sign of something in there. So that's something to look out for. One that we've seen new more often than before is browser add-ons. So in some of the new higher-end browsers like Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox, they have add-ons or plugins that you can download, and many of them are very helpful. They're to do things that you couldn't normally do with the browser. But with that capability also comes a capability for people to exploit it. And there are some add-ons that you'll find that are just not good. They're going to treat your computer the same way a worm would. So those are something to watch out for as well.
Wow, very helpful. Good. Well, it's time for a quick break, I see. We'll be right back with Justin Martell, Computer Department Manager at London Drugs, to talk about how to protect your computer from viruses and worm attacks, and what to do if your computer has already been infected. Stay with us.
More Powering Up for Non-Techies with Justin Martell, Computer Department Manager at London Drugs, after this.
Hillcrest Bakery and Deli presents Old Time Radio on the specialty channel on localwebradio.fm. Hillcrest Bakery and Deli, serving the Semiahmoo Peninsula for over 40 years with custom cakes, deli platters, and a wide selection of fresh-baked breads. Hillcrest Bakery and Deli on the corner of Thrift and Johnston, where everything is lovingly made from scratch. Call Hillcrest Bakery and Deli today at 604-531-1750. That's 604-531-1750. And visit them online at hillcrestbakeryanddeli.ca.
Are you struggling with a dental or oral health issue? Dr. Norm Ickert from Ickert Dental Implant Center is committed to improving your quality of life with the very best in modern and advanced dentistry. You can catch Dr. Ickert on the Health Channel for the Healthy Smiles Oral Health Show here on localwebradio.fm and at the Ickert Dental Implant Center in Langley at 866-981-1381. That's 866-981-1381.
Buying or selling a home on the Semiahmoo Peninsula? Catch up on local market conditions on This Week in Real Estate with Lance and Connie Marples from Sutton West Coast Realty on localwebradio.fm. To schedule a face-to-face consultation, you can reach Lance and Connie at 604-538-8888. That's 604-538-8888. And visit them online at www.surreywhiterockhhomes.com.
Would you like to get more from the devices you own? Not quite sure where to start? There is help. Catch Powering Up for Non-Techies with Justin Martell, Computer Department Manager at London Drugs, on the Specialty Channel on localwebradio.fm. It's time for more Powering Up for Non-Techies with Justin Martell.
Justin, we're back. How does someone protect their computer from viruses and worms?
Hello again. So
Hello.
the best way to protect yourself from this sort of thing is to have some sort of antivirus protection on the computer. That's the number one way to prevent that sort of thing from happening. Now, there's many different types of virus programs out there. You know, you'll hear the big names like Norton, McAfee, ESET, lots of different ones out there. And any of the big name brands are typically quite good. We carry a lot of them. I've had hands-on experience with them in the store. And they typically have a 99% or higher rate of catching these things. The number two way of protecting yourself is to back up. In the store, you know, I see people all the time who have really important information to them that they've lost, and I just can't stress that enough. Back up, back up, back up. If you don't have two machines with the same information on them, at least get a hard drive or a memory stick where you have what's important to you in a second place in case something happens. And this isn't just for business users where, if something crashes, you're down and out. This is for everybody at home too, for people who have pictures of the kids, of family, friends, who have documents that are related to taxes, to anything else on there. The things that you really do need to keep, and you put yourself at risk if you don't have a second copy somewhere. Because even short of viruses, things like a computer crash, a hard drive failure, these sort of things can affect that too. The other way to protect yourself from these viruses and worms is just to be careful with what you're clicking. When you're on the internet installing things, certain programs, some that are free, a lot of these free programs actually have partnerships to make their program free. So they tie in another piece of little software that you didn't ask for, and they get paid to do so by the manufacturer of that. So when you're installing things, a lot of times you'll see also install this piece of software. It'll be a little checkbox. And you want to just read before you hit the next button and make sure you're not just allowing anything in, because that can be quite dangerous as well. Also, reading things you're clicking on, like in your email, links from Twitter, Facebook, that sort of thing. There's all kinds of different methods out there of these viruses, unfortunately, taking over these accounts. Heartbleed, you might have heard that name recently.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, what have you heard about it?
Well, it was on a site that I use, and as soon as I tried to log on this morning, a pop-up came up, said, we suggest that every one of our users change their password and also use what we're going to recommend, which is a double-pronged security approach to getting onto your site from now on.
Right, and that can be pretty scary to see. You log into something that you use every day and you hear that they've suffered some sort of security breach, that sort of thing. And you trust a lot of companies with your personal data these days, whether it's a big company like Microsoft, Google, or a little company, or even the Canada Revenue Agency. They were affected by that sort of thing as well. So to be very careful just with who you're putting your information with and with your security amongst those accounts. It's very important when you get pop-ups like you did there to go in and do exactly what they're asking, to change your password right away, to pick a two-method type of security, which typically means that they're going to send you a verification email or sometimes even a text message with a code to verify who you are, that type of thing.
Yeah, that pop-up we can trust.
That's right.
Right. So, a lot of people use that free antivirus software. Is a free antivirus software adequate?
So there are lots of good antivirus programs out there. There's lots of free ones on the web that we see and hear about in the shop all the time. That's a really good question. So to be brutally honest, companies that do technical work make a lot of money off of these free virus type of programs because they typically just don't quite cut it. And one of the major ways to know right away is you look at a lot of these companies and they offer their free version, but they also offer a paid version.
Right.
And there's really no reason that they would do that if they already thought they were giving you the best security they could. So if you want to be secure, you want to have the best protection. You want to have something that they're actively updating. The free ones typically won't update all the time. Being free, they're not making as much money to keep working and have somebody on the payroll to work all the time on the product. And they don't have updates every 10 minutes, every hour, every day. Where the paid ones, they are constantly updating their, what we call definitions. That's basically a dictionary for the antivirus program to go in and read and to know what sort of viruses to look for. And they're constantly updating that. So you find in any type of paid or service antivirus, they do a much better job of keeping up to date, of protecting you from the latest threats that are just appearing, and monitoring everything, that sort of thing.
But if you do have a free, it is best to go ahead and update when they do suggest that you update, right? A few times they do come by with some
That's right.
update.
It's very important to stay up to date. It's up to every particular customer what level of security they want. And I can only give the best advice is to keep it up to date, let it do its scans, keep a good schedule. Most often they'll set themselves to automatically scan overnight or once every couple of days. Just a prompt scan, one that goes quite often would be the best solution there.
Consistency is important. Thank you so much for that. That's very helpful. What do you recommend to someone as a solution if their computer's already been infected and they're panicking? Help!
So once your computer's already been infected, that can be a scary thing. I've seen it before. Some people who just don't quite